Okay, so that's 4. And I feel so out of it. I swear to God. I cannot believe how sleep feels so weird. Like, I feel like I'm awake talking all night, but then I'll get woke up and I'll be in a dream. And then it will be a dream that seems like it's really happening. I don't even know, man. The, but it feels like I'm awake all night. And I'm so uncomfortable. I keep turning and turning and turning. I can't get comfortable. And it feels like my body is like, not just like vibrating, but like spark. I don't know, like when your foot's going to sleep or something. My whole body feels like that. And so, anyways, it's just weird. So I'm just talking about that just because it's weird, and I'm sure it's happening to other people too. But look, I did see. I was went up to the bathroom, and I could see like there is a whole bunch of hair. So there's tons of baby hairs, and then this is growing a lot. So I probably will get some more of those. On Amazon, it showed that it was sold out. On TikTok, oh, I don't remember what it's showing, so I don't know. I think I got these ones on TikTok because they were on sale for like $7 off from the Amazon price. So I'll just see when it's payday who's got them cheaper and get another thing of them. But yeah, there's definitely hair growing. So I don't know, we'll see. That because definitely even my mom had she has so much hair, and like massive amount of hair, and now she's complaining. She's like, oh my God, my hair is falling out. I've got like the amount of a normal person now. She's just, it's like falling out by the handfuls. I'm like, it's chemicals and shit. It's the chemicals and radiation. Everybody's hair is falling out. And then a mineral deficiency, like you don't know what you're deficient in to know, like, because if you're low in zinc, it can affect your hair. There's a lot of things. It's just like you got to be like optimum balance. This what is that word? When somebody is making it's like making the ecosystem in balance. So if we are an ecosystem, you got to find balance in what it is that makes your system run smoothly, like, which you gotta you gotta watch yourself, I swear. Or well, if you're me, you gotta watch yourself, I guess. And I obviously come through as an echo of my mom, so the two of us together, I don't know. Because, so we ordered that, the CHD, is it DI? But, dioxide. So, anyways, we ordered it and it came. And so, I had taken a couple drops out, put it in, and it smelled like chlorine, but it didn't turn amber. And so my mom was thinking and thinking, she was looking stuff up all night and stuff. And so yesterday morning when I got up, she's like, I figured it out. We need to just mix them all. And I was like, I don't know. Should we mix the whole thing? Because I'm thinking about the epoxy when it came in 2 parts and you put them together, there's an action. I was like, I don't know. Do we want to do that? Because I was thinking maybe just do some. And she's like, no, I'm sure of it. Like she could see it. Because now she's recognizing that she's in communication and stuff. And she's being shown things and told things. But that's the thing is, there's a lot of being shown and told things out there. So anyways, and I had the perspective of the epoxy coming in 2 bottles, and when you mix that, it starts the whatever, the movement between the two, but it continues, like it doesn't stop. And so and it will just harden. And so I was like, I don't know what this stuff does, but I don't know. So I was going along with it. I was like, okay, so you want me to mix this whole thing? You want me to pour this bottle and this bottle and this? And she's like, yes. And so pour it into a jar. So we have an empty jar, pour both into it, stir it. It turns like it looks like iodine almost. And and it smelled like I was up here, and I was like, oh my God. I felt like it smelled kind of like sewery or something. And my mom's like, oh my God, the smell is horrible. And she's like, I get why people say the smell is so bad. And, but I wasn't I was like, it just smells bad, but I don't. And so, I had it down there and I was mixing. So it turns this iodine looking stuff. And so then she's like, well, we have the 2 bottles. So just pour half in this and half in this. And then we each take a bottle. And they each come with a stopper. So they come with the thing so you can take your drips and put it out. So all sounds fine and dandy, doesn't it? And so first mishap, I swear to God, I'm not kidding when I say it's like you've got to figure out your own lab thing. Yesterday was hazmat disaster. Like the sirens would be going and shit. So so first thing was when I mixed it and I put it in the jar, put it in the 2 bottles. I took my bottle and I put it up to my nose to take a sniff of it. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Just keep it away from there. And so I take a sniff and I'm like, oh shit, man. Oh my God. That is like what's burning in my nose. I was like, what the fuck? And she's like, hurry, go outside. And we're opening the door, going outside. And she's like, it's a gas. Oh, where's my notes thing? It's a gas. And so then I'm like, oh shit. So all this stuff that I'm smelling, I'm like, oh my God, it's having an action inside of me. This isn't just like you smelled something. It's in the actions in the smell. I was like, oh fuck. So how much did I just get with this whiff that is like kicking my ass? And so I do that and go outside, keep breathing, and then it's like seal it up, come downstairs. And so she has her jar upstairs, I have my jar downstairs. And so I'm sitting here, and it's been hours, and I'm like feeling better, and I'm not smelling it so much anymore because it was stuck in my nose where it was like, oh fuck, all these little, because I know that there's some kind of thing where you don't want to take too much. But I kept on thinking, okay, but that baby took 100 drops. It was a 4-month-old baby, had 100 drops in his tub, absorbed that 100 drops, so it didn't go in liver failure. It went and healed his his liver cancer, which then it was doing good action on the liver. So that's why I kept telling myself, is that it's doing something good. It's doing something good. A happy accident. It's supposed to be that way. You didn't do anything wrong. It's supposed to be that way. It's probably doing something really good inside of you. All I have is these fucking little tingles all over me all the time. And so I have that in my mind. And at first I was thinking, well, I'm not even going to drink any. I probably absorbed enough to last me a year. So I'm just sitting here, and my glass is sitting there because I'm doing it in a glass. Like I wouldn't mix it in metal or plastic or anything. I would use glass if you're going to get it. And so I have my glass, and it's empty. I only had a tiny bit because when I mixed it, I put some in the dog water, so I only had a teeny bit because I had sniffed it all in. I was running lines of shit. So I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm thinking, well, I could do another drop. What the hell? So I go over to my water area, and I'm looking for the stuff. And I'm thinking, well, which one is it? Why does that look so weird? And like when you have the little droppers and you have the little stopper thing, so you can squeeze it up. And so I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking, what is wrong with that thing? Why does it look so weird? It took me a second to process and be like, oh, the plunger it's expanded. Like we have a bomb situation about to happen over here. I was like, oh, fuck, man. And so, so I get it. And I think, okay, I'm just going to release the pressure, because I've had that too with the kombucha. Kombucha has been known to blow up in people's things. Like when I first started making it, people were like, well, you got to be careful, it'll blow up. You got to be careful, it'll blow up. And it can build a lot of pressure. But I kept mine in my cabinets and stuff. I never had any blow up, but I've definitely had them where I opened it and it just goes crazy. So, so I'm opening it real slow to try and let out the steam, right? And let out the pressure. So I start opening it, it fucking blows. Oh God, I can't even tell you how fucking much of that shit I fucking inhaled. So it blows, it's going, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I knew that we shouldn't have mixed all that shit up. I just knew it. I'm like, God damn it. And then I'm all of a sudden, I'm like, shit, my mom's got a bottle sitting up there. Where the hell is hers? It's about to blow. So I go upstairs and I go, Mom, we got a problem. And she's going to lay down. And so she comes out and she's like, what's going on? And I said, that shit is about to blow. Where's your thing? Where's your container? So she gets it and she can't see good. And so she gets it and she's holding it. And I'm like, it's going to blow. It's going to blow. And she's like, should I just, like, and I said, just give it to me. And, so I take it and I get a towel because she's like, should I go outside? No, it's like, it'll just blow. It'll just go everywhere. And I said, just give it to me. I think it's better in the sink. So I take a towel and I open hers. Half her bottle came out spewing, but at least it was a towel. And I was thinking that must be the difference in temperature because I'm in the garage. So mine's cooler because mine didn't, I still have 3/4 of the bottle. Hers is half empty. And so I was like, the coldness down here probably in her house is warmer inside, you know, because she's got the heater and stuff going. Even though I've got this little heater going, it's still, you know what I'm saying? And so I was thinking, I bet you that's what it has to do with. But anyway, so the amount that I breathed in yesterday, I was like, it was freaking me out. I was like, shit, I'm not even going to go look. I'll get myself so fucking freaked out if it says you're going to go to liver failure and all stuff. So I was like, okay, just keep feeding myself positive information. Just keep telling myself, because so much of life is what we tell ourselves. And we can fall into these other things, and it's like these monkey traps or something, these things that grab you and take over your mind, and it has to do with diagnoses and sicknesses and stuff, but you can talk yourself out of this stuff, I think. And so we'll see, you know, five days I'm keeled over and you guys are like, oh, it didn't work, she thought. But I do think it does work, and I don't think I'm gonna keel over. But I haven't looked it up still yet to see what it says if you get too much. But everybody was like, "Don't take too much. Don't take too much." Like stick with 3 drops. Fucking, I inhaled goddamn fucking half a bottle of that shit, and I was like, oh my God, I even went in the bathroom and I was trying to look at my eyes. My eyes are so small and squinty. I was trying to look at my eyes and I was like, God damn, are they yellow? I can't tell. I go out and ask my mom and she's like, I can't tell either. My eyes are like so squinty, but she said, I think they look white. And I'm like, I just was freaking with my head, fucking with my head and freaking me out. And so I had to keep talking myself through it. And I kept telling myself, happy accidents. And there was these few things that kept coming into my mind. One of them, I just heard it a second ago, but what was that? Well, I'll see if it comes back. Because it was one that I kept saying. I was like, oh, because where is this coming from? But I can't think of what it was. But so I kept on thinking, because we think things go wrong, but really they go exactly the way they're supposed to go. And so I was like, so if, if there's something going on inside me, I don't know what the hell is causing all these little weird tingles all over my body. I know when back when I was in a medical institution of bullshit, and I remember it was some kind of tingles, but I think it was on my face. I kept having these tingles on my face going numb or something. And then I told a doctor or my nurse practitioner, and she's like, that's super serious. You gotta tell me this shit. And she said, that's a sign of MS. And so I had to go get more of those scans and shit, and I couldn't find any of that. But anyways, these tingle things, I would associate probably with some kind of thing from the chemicals or something. I don't know. It could be, though, this gravitational pull on their atmosphere, and my own vibrational body is feeling the vibrational disconnect or something. I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm sure it will all start to make sense. But I was thinking, you wouldn't go and take a whole bunch. You know, I'm doing this one drop, but what if there's something in me that needed a whole bunch? And so the universe makes these things happen so that you get what you need. You don't even know what you need, but the universe knows what you need. But we get so caught up in thinking that we do know what we need, and that accidents are a tragedy, they're a problem. And I kept telling myself that probably the universe knew what I needed, and so it made sure to give this big jolt twice. Well, actually 3 times, because in hers, even though it covered, there was still so much. It was like airborne or something, and it was so intense. And then I was kind of nervous about the dogs even, because I kept having the garage door open, and it was so much, that's all I could smell. It was so much in my nose and in my throat. My throat was like I'd been gassed or something. And so then I was worried about the dogs, so I kept opening the door. And then the dogs kept doing these sneezes and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, shit. And they still haven't drank their water that has some in it. It's like they can smell it, they don't like it. But I was like, how much of this is in the air? Like, fuck, man. And so then I was laying in bed, and it's not covered or anything. You can't put a top on it, it'll fucking blow. So you just got this gaseous liquid sitting here in this bottle, and then I'm sitting there thinking, shit, it probably just keeps leaking out this stuff. I don't know that I should have it in this room while we're sleeping. Even though the garage is 3-car garage, you know, I mean, it's pretty big, but still, I was like, fuck, man, that doesn't seem smart. So I put it way over in this farthest window, and I thought about putting it outside. And then I went upstairs and I told my mom, I said, I don't know if this should be in the house. And she's like, I was just thinking the same thing. So weird when you have these psychic connections. Like, I can talk to my mom through my mind, easy peasy. I don't know that she knows that she is hearing me, but yeah, it's constant. If I think something, I go up and she's thinking the same thing. So, or she's sending it to me, am I sending it to her, whatever. We're on an energetic, some kind of information or a communication line in our energy. And I feel like it's always been like that ever since I was a kid. Like, I knew my mom was psychic, but then my mom went into the direction towards religion instead of going into like her own gifts. She went towards, you know, it's God, or whatever. And but there were so many things like so I don't know, because it's kind of like I said, it's kind of like or an echo of them. It's like this one part of them goes in this other direction. This part of them goes in this direction. This part goes in this direction through their different kids. And because it is like totally different relationships too. Like, I totally think it's true. No kid has the same parents. It's like a response system. It's like a feedback system between the two people, and it's different for each group, each person. So each kid isn't raised by the same people. It's different interactions, it's different wavelengths, it's different things that they are here to experience. So it's all unique to each person. And but anyways, I've always felt like it was weird, because there's people where I feel like we don't get along. It seems like we will get along on all these things, because we can see things, like there's this psychic thing, but then there's this other part that is different, that is like it can go in different directions. Because my one daughter too, I have a few daughters that were always like, I'll say something and they'll be like, oh, I was just thinking about that. And so I don't know, it's some connection, but that doesn't mean that we're all on the same like wavelength, but we pick up on this information somehow with each other. So, so anyways, uh, when I go up there and I tell her, and she's like, I was just thinking the same thing. And I was like, yeah, it's like it's putting out gas the whole time. If it's a gas and it's not covered now, and it's, you know, we're going through the whole thing. Like, she's like, it's like, you gotta quit jumping on board on all this shit. And we're kind of laughing and everything. And she's like, yeah, the whole place dies from being gassed. And she's like, I don't know why it didn't say this in the reviews. Like, are we the only ones that this happened to? And so I want to make sure and tell, because this happened to me also when I started the copper water. Was, and I don't know in comparison, apples to oranges, like if this is way worse, because I still haven't looked it up yet. But the, when I started the copper water, I had no idea. You know, I should have done more research. I was looking up stuff and I was like, well, this sounds good. Yeah. This, what is that called? Ayurvedic healing stuff. So I was reading about that and I was like, yeah, this seems like smart. I'm going to start drinking out of a copper cup. And so I get my copper cup. And the girl that I had seen talk about it, she's like, I just leave it overnight and then I just drink it the next day if I don't feel good, and then I feel better. And so I was like, okay. So I get my copper cup, and this was a few years ago when I was like, there's more symptoms. I think that they've gotten better. I think I've gotten better anyways from a lot of this shit that I was feeling like even after that big dose, and then I've been wearing a patch again for, I put one on again yesterday, and I was like, man, I really feel like, even though it's still got this dripping problem, it feels so much drier and clear in here, which was also feeling weird to have it all be drying up. And so I was thinking, one of these things must be doing that. And I don't know if it's the one that I breathed in so much, but right now we put them in the jars or outside in a box. And it's like, look, I don't know, maybe we should just go take them down to the lake and dump them in, fucking clear out that of the toxins in the lake, and then just order a new one and start over. But when I had gotten the copper thing, so I got my copper cup in the mail, and then I filled it up with water, and then I set it over, and then the next morning I get it out and I pour it in a cup, and then I start drinking it. And then I got so sick, man. I was so nauseous. I think it was giving me a headache and a stomach ache. I can't remember. I remember the nausea was horrible. And I don't know when it was that I looked up about the copper and toxicity, or if it came to me, like somebody came talking about it. And I was like, oh shit. And so that's how I found out, though, either me looking it up or someone telling, I don't remember. But when you first get your copper cup, you got to leave it overnight, but then you got to dump that water. It's way too much, so you got to dump it. And some people can't even leave it overnight. Some people can only handle a couple hours because it's leaching in copper into the water the whole time. And so it depends on how much you can handle. That's why I'm always like, start out slow, because if you jump in and you start going at it, then you find yourself sick and overrun. You know, like the lady who did the patch, 21 milligrams. There was another guy who did one, I think he did 214s or something. So 28 milligrams or two, I don't remember. He took too much and he got super sick. And he was one of the guys who pulled out of the study that Artis was talking about. But the copper thing, you just dump that water, which plants love the copper water. So you can dump it in your plants. You don't have to waste it or anything. And then just refill it and then go from there. You can either leave it for a little while, drink right out of your cup. Right now, I'm using mine just constantly. If I go get water, I put it in the copper one and I dump it from there for everything. And so sometimes it sits for a while, but It's going between the dog's food, my drinking it, and the dog's drinking it. So it is constantly going. When my mom's gone out of town to go see my brother, I'm going to get hers down, and I'm going to use them both. I'm going to be like going, using both of them, which I totally, I mean, all this stuff is slow. Like your hair reversing back, your teeth growing back. It's all slow, but it happens. It really works. And let's look at the tooth thing, as because there is like there's so much that has grown back already. It is very much like a chunk of my tooth is out right now. So it's been growing back already, even though it's not all the way healed. So so all this stuff really does change when you change your lifestyle and you start taking better care of yourself. But it's more of a very intentional lifestyle of like knowing, you need minerals. So you're gonna make sure your day is like, I gotta get these minerals. I gotta, and one thing too, because you're your own science lab thing. So I started thinking, okay, so now I'm possibly overdosing on this shit, whatever this stuff is that I've breathed in so much of it, and it's stuck all in my nose and stuff. And so I was like, what would I do? I don't want to go to the ER. What would they do if I went to the ER besides, lecture you and put you down and stuff? I was like, they would do something to bind to it. Oh, that's what it was that I kept hearing. Free radicals, free radicals, free radicals. And so I was like, oh, okay, so I need a binder, something that where all the stuff that is out, it doesn't have something to hold on to, can get the fuck out of me. So I was like, okay, I gotta do like a cleanse, and I need to make sure it's like cleansing my liver and all of my filter system. So I drank a glass of bentonite clay, and I'll probably drink another one today just to make sure I'm moving out all these free radicals that I've brought into my system. And so I'll probably drink another thing of bentonite clay. And then I was even thinking, if I got up and I didn't feel good or anything like that, I was like, well, I have charcoal. That's hitting it hard, because the charcoal will pull all your other stuff too. And so I was like, oh, man, I don't want to jump on to the charcoal first thing. But if I was still, feeling really crappy right now, it's like a memory of a smell, but I don't smell it as strong. But it's like it's still kind of there, but it's not like it was. And it's just all the way down, man. And so that would be my second thing, would be the drinking some charcoal to bind to it. I also had a patch on, and I was like, well, do I take that off? Is my body trying to go through too many chemicals right now? Is my system trying to process through too many? Am I overwhelming my filter system? And so I was like, and then I was like, well, but also it's a binder. So if I take it off, that opens up more places for this other stuff to bind, where I want these to be like whatever free radicals that I'm peeing out and stuff. I want to get them out of me. I don't want them to get stuck somewhere inside of me. So I don't want to make room by taking off the patch, because the patch, it takes up space. So all of your what are those things called? Your let me think of what they're called. Your it's totally going blank. Am I going blank on even what I'm talking about? The free radicals, the binding. Oh yeah, so you have, what are those things called? Receptors. So you have these receptors inside of your body. So the different things go. So this is like the problem with like drugs or alcohol. So you have a certain amount of receptor sites inside of you for dopamine or whatever, all these different things. Dopamine, nicotine, all these things. You have these receptor sites that receive them and then take them. So it kind of seems like a flower, like a bee in the flower receiving. And so it's like these receptor sites, like, because everything is like these micro macro things. Everything is represents itself. And so nature is just showing us all these things that represent us too, how we work. And so you have these receptor sites. So this union between the bee and the flower. And so inside of you, you have these receiver sites. Then the thing comes in. So you, and they're flooding us with toxins. So our receptor sites are being flooded. Oh, I bet they are so sneaky that they've got carriers that they know how to go after these certain things. Oh, keep people stressed out, keep them in cortisol, then flood them with these certain things. So the cortisol or the dopamine ones are like open and are because another thing too, when you fill them up, they'll start making more. That's why there's such a thing with an addiction, where people feel like they need more, because they make more receptor sites, so they have more, and then they need more to fill. So that is one thing, you don't want to build up a bunch of receptor sites for drugs and alcohol. That was that thing when I was a nurse, and these people who needed more, it was the craziest thing, because you would be giving these people such high doses on the neuro floor, the back surgery people, and they go through these surgeries all the time, necks and backs, and then you have the brain injury. You have a whole lot of stuff on the neuro floor, but the tons of back surgeries. And the people with back things, they have been having back problems for a long time, and they're all on these, the prescription addiction. And so they all are on huge doses of this stuff. And so they come in and get these surgeries, and then when they wake up, and they're in just tons of pain because they have so many receptor sites. And so you're trying to give them drugs, but you can't fill all those receptor sites. And so they'll be sitting there crying, asking for more drugs, and barely breathing. Like, they're barely breathing. You have to stand there and count their breaths, and you weren't allowed to give them any more if they were like less than 6 or something, because they will stop completely breathing. And they still are like, I'm in pain, and they're barely fucking alive. So that's how severe that these sites can be. And so so that makes sense. Get everybody stressed. So everybody's got their cortisol or whatever. These sites are all open, and then they flood us with these things, and then these things attach to us, which, by the way, the 10 nurses is now up to 17. Like, what in the hell? What in the hell? Like, when it starts coming up, it's 17 of this, 17 of that, it's like, okay, this is part of the show. This is to get attention on something. Like, for one thing, it's bringing attention on the hospitals. The hospital's like, no, you guys are fine. There's nothing. Don't blame us. And there's people that are saying it's they all had these because all of that was mandated, and all these people had to get them. And now they've all got this shit, and it's all being out there, which, too, that is one good thing, too, is like when it's making the news and it's all this stuff, and then you have a sibling who's got this sickness and is all these and stuff, so there'll be more information coming out about that. So it might be like where, when we're sitting there saying something to them, then it's like an attack and we don't agree and stuff. But then when it just slides in from the side of some stranger, you hear these people talking about all these nurses, and then somebody's talking about these more natural things you can do and stuff, because that will come up in the conversations. And I saw a video or a tweet yesterday, and it said something about the 10, I think it was talking about the 10 nurses, but it was talking something about that. And I just remember the last little line was 98% of people, the CHEMO kills 98% of the people who go on it. So that's, that's the thing that drives me so crazy. It's like there's things that you can try that don't have side effects that won't kill you, but you go for this shit that kills all these people. Like, you have to be fucking strong as shit. Probably the good thing is my brother's kind of overweight. He's not like real chubby, but um, they're bigger. And so my brothers are bigger, so they can be like thin looking sometimes, but then they can be like really bulky looking sometimes. So to me, he looks like more bulky. He doesn't look so thin, but it's not like he looks like like he's got a lot of fat hanging off of him because he's bigger. And so anyways, that to me is positive, because the people who are really sick, like if I was to go on a chemo, like I don't have 30 pounds to lose, I would be like, so, but that is one thing that before people go on it, where they always say, that you need to have the 30-pound buffer kind of thing to do better. And so, but then probably if you get too heavy, then you've got more system problems. So, but to have a little bit of overweightness when you go on it is helpful because of how extreme it is, and you lose so much weight. Is you just puke and poop and puke and puke, because it's fucking killing you, man. 98% of the fucking people, like, fuck, man. How do they get away with this shit? What was it I saw the other day? I was like, something. I was like, all these people are dying from this, but they can just keep it going. They can just keep it on the market, keep it going. It's like oh, yeah, that's what it starts with. And then it ends with a pick and has a zim in the middle. But I can't get over that shit, man. There is people having such serious shit, and there's still fucking got people gotta take the prescription. It's like, I can't believe we trust these motherfuckers. It's like, it's absolute insanity. They just keep selling shit that they know is fucking killing people. That what was it? My daughter took this was years and years ago, and I think she was having some kind of a stomach problem. I don't remember, and I'm pretty sure it was Reglan that she took. And I don't even know what the deal is with that anymore, and I don't even know if that's what it was. It was such a long while ago, but she had some weird interaction. I can't even remember what it was. It was really weird. If it wasn't seizures, it was maybe she couldn't move, maybe she couldn't feel. I'll have to ask her because I can't remember. But so she had taken this medication, and then it caused this super crazy reaction where she had to go to the ER and stuff. And so it was like an allergy to that stuff or whatever. But they keep that shit on the market. There was a whole thing about one of the, I think it's CIPRO. I'm not sure though. It could be a different one, but it's in that antibiotic category. And it was all these people that take it have this horrible reaction, and it affects them for the rest of their life. And they still keep it on the market. They still have doctors prescribing it. It's your chance. You take it. You may be one of those people. You may be somebody who can take it and it's fine, but you may be one of these people, and they've got serious shit. I can't remember which one it is. There's a whole forum on it. There's a whole group of people who've come together, and they go and they try and talk to doctors and stuff, and doctors tell them they're whacked out. It's like, the doctors are whacked out, man. Like, can you add 1 and plus 1? Like, what the hell is your fucking mind? What the hell are you doing? Just doing your checkbook all day long? Like, goddamn, pay attention in life. And 'cause that's one thing too, is all these studies out. These doctors aren't going and reading these studies. They don't know the latest and greatest. They know what the fucking reps telling them. And the reps are fucking want them to buy their shit, because that's the system that they've created. And so it's all just fucking bullshit, and they'll get you on anything and tell you to take it, and it's like fucking bullshit. But so with the receptor site things, I was like, I want to have something good on the receptor thing. So that was the one thing too, as nicotine, when it goes in. So if you have the brain with the CA, then you go in and you do the NIC, and then you it bounces it. It overrides it. It takes the place. So the receptor sites, it gets bounced, like it shoves out the bad stuff, and it takes its place. And so that's why I was like, fuck, I don't think I need to take that off, because if it's holding space inside of me for good things, then I don't want to open it up and let more bad things hold on. And oh yeah, that's what it was, that one, the 98% thing. Yeah, it was about that all CA is parasites, all tumors are a pocket of those things. They're like yeah, I see it like a snake, like a water moccasin. It's not a hive, but it's a whole pack of them, and so that's what the TUMOR is. It's like you've got a whole pack of them, but what is that called? Like a whole larvae sac or something. You got all these parasites that are all together, and so then your body forms this layer around them to encapsulate them, to hold them, to keep your body safe. And then these dumbasses go in and poke holes in the goddamn things because they need to do a biopsy. They gotta see what kind is it. It's like, you motherfuckers, I swear to God, how stupid are they? Like, seriously, how stupid are they? Because there's shit that is leaked out where they're like, oh, well, you can't cut into cancer or it will go everywhere. Okay, so, but we need to do a biopsy. Like, how, like, are you fucking kidding me? Did you get out of 1+1 math? Are you fucking kidding me? You goddamn fucking psychopath. So the in this tweet thing, it said that so the CA is bugs. The bugs are in the capsule, and then when they go in, and don't let anybody go in and poke that capsule with any needles to draw anything out, because that opens the door and they go everywhere and it spreads everywhere. You want to keep it in the TUMOR. So if you have a TUMOR, that's where you want to keep it. But it is also, you can have those start growing. And then my brother's, how he had one, and now he's got a whole bunch. So see, it just starts spreading. But they have but they do these things, like these fucking things where they open it up and you sticking needles in it and shit. And probably even when they, because when they took his out the first time, then they said, oh, they got it all. But, I mean, it just takes one little worm, right? Go out there and start laying eggs, and then you got a whole fucking shit ton of them. You got a goddamn city of them. So now he's got a whole fucking city of them. And so you got to manage them, see, or they'll grow. They'll get bigger and bigger. So you want to manage them by taking things like all these natural things, these teas and stuff like that. But you don't want to sit there and open them, or I don't even know if we should even be doing any surgeries on them. I don't think we should be doing any surgeries on ourselves, honestly. I think that they are like trapping us in this mindset, and it causes more problems for our bodies. It causes more problems for our health. And we've got so many people out there with health problems, so many people that don't even know how to approach taking care of themselves. People have been so misled, and then they keep them all in their feelings. Yeah, they keep them all on this cortisol jolt constantly of stress. And right now they've got, like, I don't even know all the different stressors. I don't even know what the fuck is Cory Booker talking about for 25 fucking hours. It's like, I don't know. He drives me fucking crazy. I don't know which side he's on. To me, he seems that he's on the progressive side for sure. And I get out there and talk this fucking shit. So he's talking for 25 hours. When he came out and they're talking to him, oh, how'd you do it? Oh, I didn't go to the bathroom. I didn't eat. I didn't do this. It's like, and he just seems kind of wired, which you would if you're up 25 hours and you're just talking and talking and talking. You would seem kind of crazy, because you do start having like these drugs inside of you that start making you like you need to go and sleep it off. So, anyways, I don't know what all that show is about. They've got all this shit going. It's kind of so annoying. It's like, quit fucking talking about it. Just goddamn fire these motherfuckers, close these departments down, and send us some fucking money back. That's what I want. It's like, this is such fucking drawn out fucking bullshit. I cannot believe how this shit draws out. And it's just like, that's my frustration with the universe. That's my argument with them. It's like, god damn, how long is this gotta go? And God, right now I'm having this total burn in my nose, like I just came out through the swimming pool. Oh god. So anyways, they want to keep us sick, and everybody's fucking sick. Everybody's dependent on them to get them better, and keep everybody stressed out. Oh yeah. So they keep having all this Congress shit. They keep having people go before Congress, oh, in Washington State. It's been all this talk of this huge tax. They're going to put the biggest tax on us that they've ever put on us. And they're, I don't even know what all. I think it's something with this gas tax or some bullshit. But anyways, it's some bullshit thing. Because don't forget, I'm in a blue state, so they got to show the corruption, they got to show the bullshit, so they got to go through all this shit. And I was sitting there last night, I was thinking, that's what I got to do. I got to get out of this fucking blue state. I got to get the fuck out of it. I don't know how long this shit's gonna go, but also, it's like you don't go and start beating on doors and forcing doors open. You let them open themselves. And so, but also, I feel like it's also the noticing or something. Maybe it's all of that. You notice it and you want to go in a different direction, and then it starts going in a different direction. So definitely, to me, it's like, I do not want to be in this bullshit. Like, there's so much fucking bullshit and corruption in the goddamn blue states. In this one in particular, it's so fucking bullshit. So then they were putting this huge tax on us. And so now they've put it through Congress. All the Congress has agreed, or our senators or whatever in Olympia or whatever, they all agreed. Yep, we're going to do this. So it's not up to us. They are just deciding what they're going to do. And I don't even know. This tax is supposed to be wacky, and I don't know if it's on a gas. They're all of a sudden going to make us like pay $10 a gallon. I don't know. It's so fucking absurd. And you have the people who, it's got to be absurd to get the people to start looking at it different, because the people are so compliant. They're so sold on the idea that the blue is the progressive, the more caring department of the whole thing, and it's not. It's not at all. And I'm not saying you got to go red, because you got the extreme red too, where it's like, you got to jump on Jesus' back in order to progress. You got to be in this whole, I don't know, it's all so absurd. To me, you got to find your place in the middle. Everything, you got to find your place in the middle and not be on these sides, but everything in the universe is going to keep closing in to get you, to push you more into the middle. So this extreme shit, like the blue, is going to show how extreme they are, how ridiculous. And then we got to be outraged about, I don't know how long, we're going to be paying this now for the next fucking few years. I just want to get the fuck out of here. It's so fucking corrupt, I swear to God. But we're in all of this. This is kind of the state of the union, right? We have all of this fucking corruption that's coming up to the surface, and we all have to see it, so we can have people start to wake up and realize, so that we can turn shit around, so we can go the other direction. Because otherwise they just keep taking us on this. You'll pay more, you'll work less, you'll eat less, and pretty soon we'll be paying for air. We'll be allowed 5 gallons of gas a week. I mean, they would just take us down and down and down and down as far as we let them go. They're fucking, they just take and take and take. But it's us, it's us that have to say, no more, no. This isn't okay. And it's like our remembering. And to me, it's like this remembering of a better life, of like being able to see, like, fuck, man. That's what I want. I want to live like fairy tale. I'm going to go out and live and have fun and do fairy tale shit. I don't want to live in this drudgery, this compliancy, this enslavement, this work, get nowhere. It's like, man. So, anyways, it's like an internal battle. It's like what it is you will allow for yourself, what it is that you want for yourself. And that's what the awakening is all about. And so today's the second, which was supposed to be like, so it's going to be, everything in your life's going to change on the second. The second's the big change. And it's like, is it going to just be tariffs? And is that the thing that they're arguing about? They got to draw all this attention. Oh, our life's going to change. And then they're going to get it in Congress. They're going to argue about it so that we get the attention, so that we get to see, oh, all they do is try and stop it. Everything good he tries to do, they try and stop it. Like, that's what's one thing that's going on. And it's like aggravating as fuck. So I don't know. It's like, I want something big. I want the big shit to start coming. I want this, but I swear to God, it is something about it's us. It's us awakening. It's us wanting that brings it. That's what creates it. And so, there's only a few of us right now. Yeah, that is, yeah, I see these big coliseums that they say was built by all the people. And they got 4 guys out there building it. That's what it's kind of like right now. We don't have all the people to build the future that we want right now. The future is being built by us awakening and wanting different, wanting more. And so we are in this process, but it's not, my stomach is growling. It's so distracting too, and it starts growling. And then is it like these fucking parasites? Like, what the hell is it? You'd think if I had any parasites, they're fucking poisoned by the chlorine. I don't know. I don't know. I probably will look it up today, though, because I feel much better. And look it up, and then it'll say, in 3 days, 5 days, you die. It's like, but to me, it's like, well, if I die, that's my out. I'm out of here. It's like, I'll just go meet you over in the age of Aquarius. I'll be over there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about this. I forgot. Okay. So yesterday, this was really cool. So yesterday, these girls came across my algorithm. I've never seen them before or anything. And so there's bunches of these people, and they tell stories. And so now you have different channels, different people who are telling stories about glitches. And so all these people start emailing them and telling them their crazy story, their supernatural story, their glitch story, their matrix story, all these things. Because it was 2 different girls, and they said they are just getting flooded with stories. And so I saw 2 different girls telling stories yesterday, which were really good stories. I can't even remember them all. It was like, it's so exciting. I love supernatural shit. But so this one was trippy, though. So this girl, she gets an email from this girl, and this girl is talking about this situation that happened, and she said there was 5 of us. So this wasn't just in one person's mind. There was 5 of us this happened to, and it definitely happened. And so she said that they had an uncle who died, and so these 5 siblings or cousins or whatever, they were all related. I know some of them were siblings, and they decided to drive over to the funeral together. So they all go over to this funeral, and it's like going from Georgia, I think Florida to Georgia or something. And so it's a 10-hour drive. So they go over there, and they go to the funeral and everything, and then they're hanging out, and they're having a good time with their family, and people haven't seen each other, so they stay way past where they were going to stay. So they end up leaving, and it's getting dark. I think it was like 5 o'clock or something. And so they start driving, and they got this 10-hour drive. And so the one sister who's telling the story, the girl who sent the email, she's driving. And so she's been driving 5 hours, and she's got to pee. And so she starts saying, I gotta pull over, I gotta pee. And it's just been driving in dark streets. And so she's like, the next place I'm pulling over, and other people have to pee too. So everybody's like, okay, yeah, let's pee, and then we'll change drivers. And so she pulls off the next exit, just looking for a gas station. She didn't see a sign or anything, but she just figures, well, I'll just go and pull out and look for a gas station. So they go and they pull up, And they said the gas station was just really weird looking. The guy inside was weird looking. And they explained what everything looked like. And it was really old fashioned, this weird light hanging. It had weird lighting. Everything was just really, and there's several of these kinds of stories. I think that you can find them on Reddit and stuff like that. These ones driving, because I'm telling you, we're around portals all the time. And so she runs into the bathroom, and I can't even remember all the stuff that she kept saying. Everything is so weird. So weird. It was weird energy, the whole thing. And so she comes out of the bathroom, and the other ones are all standing there. Another sister runs into the bathroom to go, and so they're standing out there, and they're all just kind of creeped out, and they're looking at this guy in the thing, and they said he looked so weird, how his hair was all straggly, and he had a straggly beard, and these deep, deep, dark eyes, and he was real skinny, and he just kept staring at him, and so they just kept staring back. They're just like walking through, and then they get so weirded out, they decide to not get snacks. As soon as she comes out of the bathroom, they all just run, get in their car, and take off. And they're all freaking out. And they said that there was no sounds or anything. There wasn't bird sounds or anything. So they take off, and she's driving and driving. She's looking for the freeway. It's not there. It's not there. And she's driving, and she's been like 15 minutes, and they go back by. She said they're right back at the gas station, and just like the Twilight Zone. And so she's like, oh my God. So everybody in the car starts freaking out. They're looking at the gas station. The gas station guy is looking and watching them, and they're watching him, and they drive by real quick, freaking the fuck out. So they go by, and they just want to get to the highway, so they start doing it again. They get to the third time, and they come up to the gas station again. Only this time, the gas station is old. It's closed down. It's dark. There's nobody there. There's nothing. And all of a sudden, when that happened, it was like they could hear sounds again. And then all of a sudden, they were on their freeway. And so they took off, and they were totally freaked. And so she sent her this email talking about this, like, I don't know, what happened. It was so weird, but it wasn't just one of us. All of us had the same experience, and we've talked about it for years, and it really happened. So she does that video. So then she gets another email, and this email is from a guy, and he doesn't want his name to be said. None of these people want their names out there, because the stuff, they don't want people to think they're crazy, because it's just too woo-woo, it's too weird, it's too, and that's part of our society. It's like, come on, people. Go with it. Like, we're in a supernatural world. This isn't weird. It's exciting when people see this stuff. So anyways, so she gets another email, and this one's from a guy. And so this guy says when he was a kid, so he was born in 67, and his sibling was born in 70, or his sibling was born in 67, and he was born in 74 or something. I don't remember. Anyways, his two kids, and their dad was born in like 44. I think he went to Nam and came back, so he had the PTSD or whatever, and he became a drug addict. And so he was struggling and struggling, and the family was all struggling. The wife was so sick of him, she was turning on him, and she just wanted out of the marriage. He just struggled too much with addiction and all his problems, which is very common for guys who came out from Nam anyways. And there's lots of homeless guys and stuff I think are from Nam, and because it is such a shenanigan. And so anyways, he said that his dad came home one night, and he said that the person that she describes, and he didn't hear this, his daughter, so that his daughter had heard this story so much time. So the guy telling it would be like around my age, or he's a little younger than me, because he's either born in 67 or 74. So he has told this story so many times. His kids knew this story. So his kid heard the girl telling the story. She took the phone in to her dad and said, you got to listen to this. And so he starts listening, and he was like, oh my God. So he emails the lady, And he's like, that is exactly what my dad looked like. It's exactly where my dad worked. And it tells more things. But he said the crazy thing is the night that he came home, and he said that people from the future came to his gas station, and he was totally freaked out. And he was really scared. He was freaked out. He was trying to tell him, and his wife was like, "Gosh, shut up, you drug addict! Shut up, we're leaving you. We're sick of you." And she had the kids all on board too. It's like he's just talking crazy talk. He's always talking crazy talk, but he was talking about these people from the future. And so the mom leaves him. She's like, "We're sick of you and your crazy drug out, crazy problems." And so she takes the kids and leaves him. And so the person doesn't talk to his dad for like 16 years or something until the mom's dead. And then he has kids, and then he's like, "I'm going to talk to my dad." And so his dad's dead now, though. But when he talked to him, he said, what happened about that night, and he said that really happened. He said these 5 people came to the gas station from the future. And he said, and they came around, and they came twice, and they came and they were staring at me, and I was staring at them. And so he tells the exact same motherfucking story, only from the other side. I was like, what a trip. So that was, and it was like it was in the 70s, I think. Could have been in the 80s. I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to it when his dad was working at that gas station. So those people went through some kind of a portal and went back in time into the 70s or 80s or whatever it was, and was really interacting with this guy who was just at work, who was just, he looked all scary to them, but he was just kind of like a strung out kind of guy from the 80s, a vet or whatever. He said he was, the son said he was really skinny. He had this scraggly hair. He was balding. He had these really dark, deep set eyes, like a lot of darkness around his eyes. And exactly what these people have described, exactly what he was wearing and everything. And so that is what I've been saying, though, about these portals. These portals are all around. And so, see, it can take you back into time. Because that was another one that I can't remember where I had heard this story. But these were, and I've told it before because it was these 2 truck guys. And they were out to do a delivery or something. And then they were running out of gas. So they did the same thing. Look for this gas station. They go, and there's this weird-ass gas station with this weird-ass old man. And everything looked really weird. The guy acted weird. The money, everything was weird, he said. I don't remember all the stuff in that story. And so they get their gas, and they take off, and they're back on the road, and their truck is just chugging and having a problem. So they get back to the warehouse, and they pull in, and they tell the mechanic, and the mechanic goes out, and he's, studying the car and looking at it and trying to figure out the gas. And so the mechanic told them that, where did you get this gas? This gas is from the 40s. There was a certain, during the war or something, that they made a mix. It wasn't just gas, it was a mix of something. And he said that was in there. And so the guys were like, what? That seemed like it was like from the past where they went. So they went back looking for it. Just like this girl who went on that one. She said she's gone looking for that gas station so many times. Whenever she's driving, she goes looking for it, and she's not been able to find it. These guys went back looking for it and couldn't find it. And the guy, the son, he said exactly where the gas station is. So he told him where the gas station is. So there's more, there'll be more that's going to play out in the story, because there's a whole bunch of people now who are invested. People are like, oh my God, have you heard the story about the gas station? What the hell? So funny how this stuff can just really wake people up, the supernatural stuff and stuff. So anyways, but there was another story too. There's just been so many, because there was another one. This may have been when I heard on Mr. Ballin. And, but these people, I think it was 2 women, and they were driving way out on some road, and way out in the middle of nowhere. That's what gets crazy. When I was driving on my road trip to go to California, and I was in this part of Oregon that I'd never, there was salt flats, and it was like 100 miles with no services, no gas stations or anything. But when I was driving through there, it was like, oh my God, this is like a different space and time. It was totally And you could feel it, you could tell. It was like you go through these different spaces in time, these portals, they're all around us. And so, and they have roads going through them. So, anyways, and like I've said, I think that they're doing more, like they're trying to force us in certain directions or something, or block us from certain ones or whatever. But anyway, so these women, they were driving, and they pull up at a gas station, and or maybe theirs was a food place, and they pull up, but all the people who were in there were all like weird looking and giants and stuff. And so, and the people were standing out staring at them, like the same thing as like the gas station guys staring at them, because they're having an experience too, like, what the fuck? And you imagine like a car from in the 80s, in the 70s and 80s and stuff. It would have been a lot of classic cars and stuff. And then you see this car from the future come pulling in. How different the cars now would look from the cars back then. And for the gas station guy to be like, there's people from the future came and they were acting all weird. So he was totally freaked out. But so these ones at this place, these girls, they, all of these beings started coming out and looking at them. So they took off, I think. I don't think they even went in the place, and took off, totally freaked out. But you can come across these things in these places and stuff, these gas stations and these they're like alternate realities or something. They're like, it's just these, everything is these, it's so hard to explain, but it's like, it's so easy to see it. It's like these reality spots, these reality clouds of existence, and it's easy to go in from one to another, and it takes so much of our focus to hold this reality, I swear to God. And so we're all focused on it, but the more that we stop focusing on it, the more it falls apart. And the more, the sky's falling apart, our world's falling apart, what we believe, everything is falling apart. So, but that is, this changeover, this awakening, is everybody to awaken and create change. And the whole past, the rest of it falls apart. But there is, I don't know, it's like ghost cities or something, because it's like cities that like continue. It's like they're in their own realm. It's not like that it is, it's just these other realms and realities. I don't know what else to say about it. It's not something that you need to be scared of, but I feel like that we need to have awareness, like that we could go off and go into a different realm and have awareness, like, oh, I'm in a different realm. How do I get out of here? As even when those people realized, and they took off driving, and they circled right back. And that's also in a movie that I think it's in a bunch of movies. I think it was in Twilight Zone all the time. But that go in and keep going back around the same place, like you can't get out of this loop. Finally, they got out of it. But those things are real. And I don't know, because I feel like that there's probably people out there, hikers and stuff, that really just went into other realms. They went through a portal. They ended up someplace in different space and time. And so they're not really lost. They're just somewhere else. And so anyways, I don't know. It's just like, this place is magical. It's not something that you need to be scared of, but you need to have awareness. You need to know what you're dealing with, kind of, is what I would think. But it's definitely not something you need to be scared of. Because a lot of people are scared of supernatural stuff and ghosts and portals and all that. And there is, let's see, there was some footage from, I think it was the Netherlands or something. Maybe it was Denmark, I don't know. But they've got some crazy aurora sky going, crazy color sky. And then that cool swirling blue thing over by England. And then it seemed like there was something. There was a lot of people who have been noticing that the moon's flipped. So it doesn't have a crescent. Now it has a smile, which is odd. But was there a moon again last night? It seemed like, I don't think that there was a moon again last night over here. I don't think there's been a moon over here for days. And the sun is weird as fuck. The weather's weird as fuck. They got more weird weather systems going across the United States. But anyways, I don't know. I swear to God, I just always feel kind of out of it. I feel like everything is so weird. It feels weird to talk about shit. It feels, I don't know. Sometimes it's like, what am I even talking about? Why am I even talking at all? What am I doing here? What is the hell? Like, everything is so weird. But things, there's going to be a shift. That's what I know. I'm hanging on for the shift. So, oh yeah, there was another thing I saw, and they said today is going to change our whole lives. Today is half the people are going to disappear. So I don't know if it's the rapture. People are saying today's the rapture, and half the people are going to disappear, and that's going to turn everything upside down. I don't know. Every day, you just got to go with the flow and don't be scared of whatever happens, because whatever happens is always meant to happen. It's going to happen the way it's going to happen, and there's nothing to be scared of. And all of this stuff that seems supernatural and magical is our real life. That's real. This other part where there's an explanation, which there's not explanations like what they're saying, but where they're trying to get us to focus on the explanation of everything, then that's their fake world. It's a fake world that you're too attached to. And there's so many of these people, like, God damn, you do a video talking about the sky, and all these people coming in, well, the equinox and the sun's rotation and the million, it's like, oh my God, whatever, we got nothing to talk about. You go find your crew to talk about that with, but they are out there, trying to make sure that us weirdos, that we understand science. It's science. It's like, you probably need to understand that scientists are a bunch of wackos, and they're just trying to figure shit out, and they're cut off from their own goddamn spirit. And so they're very three-dimensional in their thinking, trying to make things make sense. And what was that? Something was just coming into my mind. Oh, it was a shape-shifting. Oh, yeah. Okay, there was another story, too. I'll say that one real quick. Because this girl, she had these two friends, and they were all three best friends for years and years and years. She's been friends with these people since she was a kid. And they lived kind of, I think it was in a small town. And they were all, like, single girls, and so they want to go out and party this one night. So they all get all dressed up and go out to their favorite little dive bar. They all get a drink, and they go sit down at a table. They drink their drink, and then they go out on the dance floor. And so they're all three out there dancing, and there's three guys who come out, and they start dancing with them. And so they're all dancing, and then they kind of partner up. And so then they all kind of just gravitate towards one guy, and they dance with them. And then all of a sudden a different song comes on, and they go back to the group dance of all of them dancing around each other. And the girl telling the story, she said when that happened, she was like watching everybody, and this one friend all of a sudden changed. She said that her skin changed. It was no longer looked like skin. It looked like reptilian skin, whatever, scales. It looked like scales. She all of a sudden grew real tall, and she was normally short, but all of a sudden she was giant. And then there was another thing too, a change in her size, a change in her skin, and I don't remember, it was a change in her eyes or something. And so she's looking at the girl, and so she's like trying to like close her eyes, like, are the lights in the darkness playing tricks on my eyes? And she keeps looking, and it's like, and it happened, she said, real quick. And so she looks over at the guy she was dancing with, and the guy is freaked too. He's sitting there staring at the girl, just totally freaked. And so she looks at him, and they make eye contact, and he takes off and he starts going. So she goes out after him because she wants to talk to him and see, like, did you just see what I saw? And the guy is so freaked, he just takes off. He leaves his friends and he goes out, and she said he just disappears in the parking lot and takes off. So she couldn't catch up with him. She couldn't talk to him or anything. He was just freaked and wanted the fuck out of there. So he left. And so she goes back in and she's sitting there for a minute, and then she goes, I'm leaving too. Fuck this. And so she leaves. And then over the next couple of weeks, her friends are calling and calling and calling, like, what's up? What's up? Why aren't you going out with us? So then they say, well, we want to talk to you. What's going on? And so they set up a thing. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks, and they set up this luncheon or whatever, and they want her to come and talk to them and see why she's ignoring them, why she isn't coming out and doing stuff with them. And so she's sitting at the table and they're talking, and she goes, well, I mean, this sounds really crazy, but it really freaked me out. And she said, when we were dancing, all of a sudden you turned into a reptile, and it freaked me out. And so I just had to, process. I had to, like, I think the lights were messing with my mind or something. And so she was more calmed down now. And then the lady who she said that she said changed, that girl started being like, well, what did you see? Well, what are you talking about? Well, what did I look like? How did it go? Like, she wanted more details on it. And I don't remember what all the girl told her, but she said it was just kind of like, okay, it's fine, I'm over it. It was just weird, and we were dancing, and it just was weird. But this girl that she had said it to was acting really weird and wanted to know more about it. But then she said that was the last time she ever saw that girl. That girl totally disappeared. Both her and her friend never saw her again, never heard from her again. And this was somebody they had been friends with since they were children. So then I was like, oh my God. So you don't know. Like, you could have a shape-shifting reptilian that's your friend and you don't even realize it. And they just go through life. They just want to be like us. They just want to live their life. They don't all want to be bad. But then they get seen. And anyways, and it's weird too. It's like when they start shifting out, that they can't tell. I don't think they can tell when they lose their ability to hold their shape. And because there's all sorts of people always showing people, like, on the news and stuff. I don't remember who it was the other day. Some person in their eyes, all of a sudden their eyes turned into slit eyes. I've seen so many of these different ones. Or one eye will turn into a slit one. So many that it starts being like, is this AI? Is this real? And we do have lots of AI stuff out there. But even if you see some and you think like, oh, I don't know if that's real or whatever, it is real. Even if that picture is not real or whatever, it is real. There really is shapeshifters. There really is people who can make themselves appear different. And I think we probably can. I think it is, I swear to God, it's like something with our physical represents what we need to work on. When we work on it, then our physical starts becoming more of a representation of something more healed. So see, you are like shape-shifting through life. You are changing your physicality through your healing. So, but I think that there still is a point in time where we become more masterful at it, and we all become more our best version. Like, we all go into the best versions of self. And I think that is a part of where we're headed. And oh, look at them. They're so cute. They're in that little thing. They cuddle up. Oh, that was just Max. I thought it was Archie and Max. Archie's right here. I thought it was Max and Archie. That looked weird to me because I thought it was Archie that came up and then they moved around. But no, Archie's down here. Stella's right here. Archie's right here. Max is right there. So, anyways, we'll see what today brings. Hopefully it really, I don't know. I just want some big stuff to start going. Even though it's, it can end up being like really horrible where it's like, oh God, I can't believe I was wishing for this. But I do want things to start speeding up, to start having good change. Start arresting some of these motherfuckers that are committing crimes against us. Start releasing these names that these people are all on the edge of their seat about, which I think we were talking about the list or something, and I said there's lots of names on these lists that people don't even know the names. And I told my mom, I said, like, do you know who Les Wexler is? And she's like, no. And I was like, oh, well, I was somebody who's in love with Jeffrey and would do anything to cover him up and stuff like that. And he also owns Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secrets. I'm pretty sure he's both those. But that's when I quit with that stuff. I was like, when I started hearing about, like, oh, this guy owns this and this guy does this guy's involved with this, so I'm not using his products, I'm not buying his shit, I'm not supporting this. It wasn't just the banks I quit paying. There was lots of these crazy people. I'm not buying their shit from them. I'm not paying to support these wackadoos and the horrible things that they do and the horrible shit they do towards kids and shit like that. They think we're all expendable and kids are just there for them to play with and, destroy. So, anyways, I've been talking plenty long, I think. So we'll just see how the day goes. Hopefully, I'm all in for a Sky event and people getting freaked out and running and scared. There'll be some of us that'll be telling them, oh, it's okay, it's fine. There'll be probably people falling to their knees praying, Jesus, hurry, take me. And they're telling how crazy it could get. I don't even know. Like there's so much build up to this though. There's something big's coming, something crazy, something that's very unexpected, and something that is going to all of a sudden really shock people into awake. It's going to be like, what? And so something about our truth, the truth behind our skies, which makes sense to me, is turn the lights off for a minute, let us see what's outside on the other side of the firmament, and then turn them back on, and for people to see, like, I don't know. We'll have to see, and it probably won't be today. Probably, who knows, for how long this is drug out. Fuck, man, it could be years. Oh my God, and then you just gotta find your own peace. You gotta find your own peace of mind, your own road to travel. And the path is always towards yourself, your better version of yourself, the best version of yourself. And how do you find that? You find it by loving yourself. So learning how to love yourself, learning how to love everybody, and learning how to have a good day, a loving day, the day that you want, learning how to find your focus on the things that make you happy, and your day is going to turn out better. So I'm going to do that today. I'm going to focus on the things that make me happy. I'm probably not going to look up about what happens if you get too much of this stuff, because I won't put it in my head, because when you put that into your head, it's a battle and you don't even know if it's true. You don't know the stuff that they say is true, or they're just trying to keep us away from stuff. I mean, they literally have lies about the patch on there because they want to keep people away from this stuff. So anyways, you gotta learn, it's like learn to trust your own self, and to you are your own science experiment. But there's just a lot. There's a lot in it all. I'm telling you, just learn to love yourself, learn to love everybody, and learn how to have a loving day. And I think you're golden. So we'll talk again tomorrow. We'll see how I feel about it tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.